All right, 5H, today we are going to read this story. Look at those illustrations on that cover picture. It's so cool. I love it. So this is called Blackdog. It was written by Levi Pinfold, and this is the back. You can see those woods. Pretty cool. The back says, one day a black dog came to visit the Hope family. Mr. Hope was the first to see it. Okay, let's get started. As we're reading today, I want you to think about what is happening in the plot of the story. So how the beginning, the middle, and the end come together, what the rising action is, if there's anything causing you suspense or causing you to question. And then tuning into the setting, because I just am obsessed with how this picture is. And it looks like it's snowy. We're in the forest. We've just got one person. Those it looks like an old house. So that just makes me tune into the setting right from the beginning with that picture. One day, a black dog came to visit the Hope family. Mr. Hope was the first to see it. "My goodness," he cried, dropping his toast. He didn't waste any time in calling the police. "There's a black dog the size of a tiger outside my house," he told the policeman. The policeman laughed. "What should I do?" asked Mr. Hope. "Don't go outside," said the policeman, and put down the phone. I like the way those illustrations are woven in with the text. He seems very concerned about this black dog. Which, as the reader, that just tells me that this must not be very common for him to see a black dog. Mrs. Hope was next to get up. "My goodness," she cried, dropping her mug of tea. She didn't waste any time calling in for Mr. Hope. "Did you know there's a black dog the size of an elephant outside?" she yelled. "Yes," Mr. Hope said. "What should we do?" asked Mrs. Hope. "Turn out the light so it doesn't know we're here," said Mr. Hope. These pictures are kind of creepy. I'm noticing. So on this first page, we had a picture of Mr. Hope calling in the house and him looking out the window. And then we have, like, what? That's creepy. And then that was him. On the second page about Mrs. Hope, there she is. She dropped her mug. And now on this page, we have her in the house. We see the dog a little bit better. We still have the window. The pictures are kind of similar. I like on this one how Mr. Hope called the police, Mrs. Hope called Mr. Hope. It's kind of like a chain reaction. I wonder who will notice the dog next. I'm wondering if I'm showing you enough of this. Okay. Adeline Hope was next to get up. "My goodness," she cried, dropping her toothbrush. She didn't waste any time calling for her parents. "Did you know there's a black dog the size of a Tyrannosaurus Rex outside?" "Yes," Mr. and Mrs. Hope said Mr. and Mrs. Hope together. "What should we do?" asked Adeline. "Close the curtains so it can't see us." Oh, creepy. So we've got this pattern happening. Oh, and that's weird how you can see it in the mirror. Makes it look like there's two. Maybe that's reflecting something else. I don't know. Maurice Hope was the next to get up. "My goodness," he cried, dropping his teddy bear. He didn't waste any time calling in for the family. "Did you know there's a black dog the size of Big Jeffy outside?" "What's a Big Jeffy?" asked Adeline Hope. "Never mind that. What should we do?" demanded Maurice Hope. "Hide under the covers," they all wailed. Cool. So down at the bottom. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Look at that. The dog is the size of the house. And now you see the boy. And then at the bottom, now we have all four of them. And I think In this one, we just had the 3. In this one, we had 3 squares, but just 1 person. Just noticing these pictures. Pretty interesting. Okay, back to where we were. So here we have the window, which is interesting because now we're seeing the window from both sides. So here we saw looking out, and now we're seeing it looking into the house. All of his stuff. It was then that the youngest member of the Hope family, called Small for short, noticed that there was something going on. "What are you all doing under there?" "We're hiding from the black dog," they whispered. "Oh, you are such sillies," said Small, opening the front door. "Don't go out there," cried her family. "The hound will eat you up. It'll munch on your head. It'll crunch your bones." But Small went anyway. This reminds me of the cover. So now we know that's Small. Outside, the black dog leaned down toward her and breathed. "Golly, you are big," said Small. "What are you doing here, you guffin?" The black dog snuffed at her. It's hard to see with the light. Look at Small. "All right then," she said. "If you're going to eat me, you'll have to catch me first." And with that, she scurried into the lowering trees. As she ran, she made up a song. "You can't follow where I go unless you shrink, or don't you know?" The black dog followed. Looks like we've got like a creek and a bridge. And then over here, maybe a church. As Small hurried toward the frozen pond under the little bridge and over the ice, she sang, "Your paws are thick, ice is thin, a great big dog just might fall in." And the black dog followed. Next, she scuttled through the playground, down the slide, and around the merry-go-round, singing, "You might be big, I may be small, but I'm not afraid of you at all." And still the black dog followed. How is that dog fitting through that slide? Finally, Small had run all the way back to the house. "You'll find out why they all hide if you follow me inside." And with that, Small tumbled into her warm home through the cat flap. She really was that small. And so, by now, was the black dog. That's a big change from this, and there's Small, to this. Crazy. What is happening? Inside, Small grabbed a laundry basket, and as the black dog scrabbled in behind her, she covered him with a loud "Ha!" Just then, the rest of the Hope family popped up from behind their barricade. "You haven't been munched!" cried Mrs. Hope. "You haven't been crunched!" cheered Mr. Hope. You haven't been eaten, yelled Maurice Hope, missing a poetic opportunity. But where's the black dog? Asked Adeline. Without a word, Small lifted the basket. The rest of the Hope family was extremely pleased to see that the black dog was neither as huge nor as scary as they had feared. He doesn't seem fierce at all now that I really look at him, said Mr. Hope. The rest of the family agreed. We were silly, said Adeline. Only Small knew the right thing to do. Everyone was quiet for a while, thinking about how brave Small had been. You've got a lot of courage facing up to a big, fearsome thing like that, said Mrs. Hope. There was nothing to be scared of, you know, replied Small Hope as she went to sit by the fire, and the black dog followed. The end. Interesting book. I can't wait to talk to you about it. And I think you'll like seeing the illustrations in person.